think I'm actually gonna be able to have my music in the background on this one. I don't know if that's gonna help me or hurt me on YouTube because they be, shutting stuff down for copyright. So I might just keep switching the channel every now and then so that y'all can't really, they can't lock in on the music. Because you were playing such and such in the background. I wasn't playing nothing. What you talking about? I ain't hear nothing. Did y'all hear something? I ain't hear nothing. I'm gonna turn it down low. There we go. I can still hear it, but yeah. Sorry if y'all want to hear it, but so yeah, I was live earlier, but I wanted to talk about something I didn't talk about. Happy Halloween again, by the way. It's Halloween today, and I think this still kind of relates to Halloween and themes of horror and spooky things, scary situations, whatever. And I mean, not all of Halloween is that, but a great deal of it is. So I thought I would discuss my thoughts on this this topic that really fits in with what we call relationship goals in the art life. Now, if you've never watched that content that I do here, it's where I basically discuss what it is to be a creative of any type of art and be in relationships, intimate relationships. Heterosexual, okay, that's all we focusing on. We just stay in our lane, you know what I mean? That's not to insult anybody. It's funny how you almost have to explain. I don't like explaining, but I like to explain just to make sure I don't get any unnecessary static with insecure people who just don't like to be reminded that everybody's got their lane and everybody likes their lane, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with any way you want to be. But as for me, I'm gonna speak from my perspective and personality. I had to make sure it rhymed. It was flowing, so I had to go and had to bring it together right there. So check it, y'all. It's real simple for me. It's like, look, this thing is about relationship goals in the art life, and I do a lot of reviews and response videos. That's become the main part of when I do those. And I deal with shows that I watch and analyze, keyword analyze, because some of them are guilty pleasure and some of them are just no pleasure. It's really sad to watch this stuff. And like I said, you talk about the horror of it all. So here would be the scary part, right? So there's one in particular I like to watch, the whole Pop the Balloon or Find Love. And when I say that, I'm talking about the original, Arlette. The host is Arlette, lady whose husband is a famous Congolese musician, star, and everything. And he produces it, she hosts it, and it's the original, to my understanding, Pop the Balloon or Find Love. So on Arlette's show, what she'll do after she does the show, where it be like a lineup of guys or women, and the one by one guests come out and they talk to the crowd with the balloons, and if they make it through to the end and somebody likes somebody, she's like, is it gonna be a match for you? And he's like, yeah. It's gonna be a match for you? Yeah. Oh, we got a match! That's what she loves to yell that. I swear she go crazy every time on that. And it gets on my nerves. It's expected. It's what she got to say. It's her famous line. It just drives me crazy every time she says it. I'm like, oh gosh, because it's so over the top with it. But I get it. Yeah, it's entertaining. She's got to win, and I respect her show, and I respect what her and her husband have built. So shout out to them. I always like to start by saying, even with my criticisms, I'm not dissing what they're doing, because they doing what the hell a lot of people wish they could do, is find a way to have success in social media and monetize it, but still be doing something you enjoy doing. And that's one of the big things of what we're doing here at ONYXCON. We're a nonprofit, and so we're always trying to figure out a way to monetize our content, all of it. And I really want people to appreciate everything we do here, not just some of what we do here, but I do variety of purpose, because I know everything ain't gonna appeal to y'all, but some of it might hit the right button for the right people. So anyway, on Arlette's show, she'll do these follow-ups when people do match. And they'll actually sit down, her and the couple, and they go through the whole, all right, so we haven't talked in months or whatever. It's usually some months. And she'll reintroduce them. They'll tell a little bit of their background, even if, because she never assumes. And like I say, really good, well-produced show, because that's what you're supposed to do. Don't assume people watching that did watch the show where the people match. They might go back and watch that because of what they see in the talk, but you have to bring people up to speed. That's just how it works. There's too much going on vying for people's attention to assume that they are watching everything you're doing. you got to give them reasons to watch it, right? Shout out to the people that gave me 5 likes. I really appreciate y'all. Eyes on the content, but you're appreciating it. I thank you so much. That's what time it is. So she'll do these reviews, and what has got to be a horror, this is why I'm laughingly comparing it to Halloween horror. I was watching one today, literally today, and I said, what is it? I mean, this has got to be the 10th if I had to count them all, I think. That's not an absolute... So, we'll get back to me. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of this and get in trouble with copyright. Hold on. Okay, that's it. I think if I do that many seconds, I might not get flagged. But anyway, so I was talking about Arlette Amuli. I think her last name was Amuli. Arlette's show, the original Pop the Balloon or Find Love, and how she does these reunion shows once people match to see how they're doing. If they went out on a date, if they connected, they stayed connected, whatever. And look at her numbers. If you're not familiar and you're curious about what I'm talking about, if you already know, you know. Millions. Every single show. I mean, if it ain't millions, it's going to be millions. It'll be like them high 100,000s, and you know it's going to get there eventually. But the ones that really go viral because of some moment where somebody said something crazy, guy or girl, that got a lot of attention, and people meme it or use clips of it and put it all over, and that goes viral, and it gets everywhere on Instagram and TikTok and all. Once it goes like that, it comes back to the source because people want to see the whole thing. So that drives the numbers. Like I say, millions, y'all. Millions. So, just from that standpoint, right? This is the thing I continuously see when they do these reviews. There's always, man or woman, either one, somebody's accusing somebody of being a liar. Somebody's accusing somebody of just wanting clout, but not really seeking love. Not literally being for a legit reason. Reading this for guys saying that out of disappointment. But what cracks me up is the fact that every single time somebody's calling somebody a liar, somebody's calling somebody cap, especially if they're younger, they're on that cap shit. I can't stand it. Man, I know it's generational. The phrase ain't generational. It's old as hell, I found out. It's a very old phrase. It's actually like an old English way of saying you're a lie. That's lie. You know, but the fact that it came back in 2020s and has maintained just blows my mind. Like, it every time I hear it, it makes me cringe sometimes. It's like, they talking about caps. Why do they keep saying cap? What's wrong with caps? I like caps. That's my dude. So he broke it down to me. He's like, he broke down the history of cap and where the men came to be what it is now. And I said, oh my God, you gotta be kidding. I didn't realize it. Oh, it's good to know. I love history. I love edutainment, right? Still annoyed. I don't not get annoyed with hearing it. I'm just like, oh, did he cut one more damn time? He's like, that's cat. I'm like, to me, it's a surefire sign that you stuck in that young mentality. Even when, because a lot of these people, they heading into their 30s and everything. I'm like, look, man, leave that for them teenagers and them 20s. Once you hit them 30s, I don't want to hear it come out your mouth no more personally. I feel like it's time to grow up. Like, just like any generation, there's certain things, if you say it, it's just like an instant sign that, oh, okay, you're not quite there, are you? All right, and it can mess with your ability to push yourself up in society, so to speak, if that's your goal. Now, if you just want to stay down in the guttural conversation, man, I swear. Whenever I do a neighborhood, and this is a little tip, and I get signals this bad, I always say don't live in an area like this because you're going to have the worst Wi-Fi you done ever had at your residence. Okay. Avoid living in areas where that's the first kind of thing, like, no, go ahead, it's on you. And then sometimes the women push it back on, like, no, I don't want to talk. I want you to all that attitude and unnecessarily craziness. And they'll start trying to break it down. But what I find most common is that both of them, in one way or another, will sound like they capping. Like, both people will sound a little disingenuous. There may be one that sounds more disingenuous than the other in most cases, but a lot of times it's just a complete failure of expectations, a complete failure of communication. You're on a show, that's all about dating. You paired on the show. That doesn't instantly mean on a speed dating concept that you're right for each other. So yeah, you got a lot of work to do. As soon as they say, all right, and that's a cut, you go backstage, the work starts. And some of them were talking about issues they had when they went backstage. Like I was watching one today where the couple, both of them like to smoke. And I thought to myself, here's another thing that I'm starting to really, man, if you can't see that this is a part of the problem, they're talking about weed. They both like weed. Okay, if you like weed, that's your business. I don't smoke, I don't drink. And I don't like the smell of weed. I don't look at weed as, I don't demonize marijuana. I think it has a practical medicinal use. Hear what I said, medicinal use. And I'll never forget hearing a Rastafarian say one time, if you know how big that is in their culture, say you shouldn't, he was a Rasta, and there's different types of Rastas, but he was a Rasta, an older gentleman too, and he said, you don't have to drink, you don't have to smoke it, you drink it. It's better if you drink it as a tea. I said, wow. But how many people want to do that? They think it's cooler to be blowing some stank in the air and make everybody smell their shit. I can't stand it. So anyway, these goofies both like to smoke. And they said that, first of all, I'm thinking to myself, you starting your first conversation and trying to get to know each other high. So you're not fully gonna be your absolute self unless they think my real self is when they're high, you know? So they said that, you know, and from what I know of friends of mine who smoke, you know, and as an artist, I know quite a few, all right? The big joke is they always say they know, that the real ones will be honest. They say, yeah, it's true, we do, I can't remember nothing. They forget stuff, it makes you forget stuff. They often say, if it ain't that thing, it's because if they in denial, but I don't forget nothing, I'm forgetting, you know, I've heard the ones who say that, and then they'll steadily be saying something, and you'll ask them something, and they're like, they don't want to admit they don't know. So they'll talk around the fact they don't remember. But they can't remember nothing. Okay? And then they say it makes you paranoid. Now, it's been made a joke in movies. Anybody watch the movie Friday, the classic Ice Cube, Chris Tucker, Debo, rest in peace, okay? Tiny, okay? But man, when the scene where Cube's character got peer pressured into smoking by Chris Tucker's character, and he started having illusions. Hey, you see that? It was the joke about how it makes you paranoid. Now this is somebody who smoked. These are two people. I don't know if Chris Tucker still smokes, but at the time he did. And Cube, I don't think he ever stopped smoking. I mean, you know, he just that's part of his lifestyle. Whatever. I'm saying this, and that's a big thing in Cali, to the point where, I mean, man, if I meet somebody from LA, I'm just like, how much do you smoke? Not do you, how much do you smoke? You know, because they just got the whole country addicted, you know, on that side of things. But it's the business of it and everything, all them dispensaries and everything. It's for a reason that it's becoming legal, people. It's money. It's all it is. They don't give a damn about your health. It's money. So like I say, with how this affects people's health, you up here trying to talk to somebody, first time, you know, met them for the first time. Why couldn't y'all just have a sober conversation? Why? Because you're addicted. Both of you, more than likely. You don't need to go out there. Plus, you're still at the job, so to speak. You're on a set, a movie set, a production. I mean, if it had been mine, I would have been like, no, you can't smoke here. Outside or inside. Take your ass home. Get off the property and go do whatever you do. But you're not about to be out here in front of my movie set making it smell like that and giving us the appearance that we with all that. No. Take your ass home. Go on your first date now and y'all get high. That's what y'all want to call a first freaking date with your lame ass. Get out of here. You know, that would have been me. I'm just being real. I would have sent your ass home. I own the studio? Oh, hell no. In the world, you ain't smoking on my property. Get your ass out of here. You know, you got a problem with it? That's what we got security for. Ain't nobody playing with you. Ain't got time for it. But anyway, they say they were both getting high. The guy explained that he got a little testy because there was another guy who wanted to talk to her while they were talking, came up in their conversation, and she was being friendly with him. But then they moved on where it was just two of them talking. But everywhere they would move to get away from him, the guy would be there, to the point where he asked her outright, yo, do you know this dude? Are you effing with him? This is literally what this dude says to this woman. I said, oh my gosh, have mercy. So she said in the interview that that alone was one of the main reasons they never got together, because at that point she felt like, okay, this guy is a little tense for me. I don't even know you. I just met you, and you already coming at me talking about, am I screwing with a guy that I think she did say she knew the guy a little bit or something, whatever. Even if she didn't, it's just like you just met the woman. And the guy had a conversation with all three of y'all. At some point, y'all broke off. He's lingering around. Whatever, man. Attractive woman. You're at a set where people are all attractive and trying to meet somebody. It's a dating show. You could expect that somebody might act creepy. Hell, if he wasn't touching nobody or saying nothing, so what? He's just there. Be the audience, because you're the one who paired with the woman. What you feeling insecure about? Why are you feeling insecure? Paranoia. You both high. You smoking that stuff. She may have even felt a little extra about her thoughts on it because you're smoking that stuff. I'm just saying. I know it's going to piss off all the weed heads that might come here. Okay, like I said, I got weed head friends, but they respect me because they know I'm going to give them the truth. I don't play. Hey, I'm not going to candy coat it for you. I'm going to call see the possibility of why this is affecting your life. You're going to still do what you do. And none of my friends that smoke weed stopped smoking weed because of my thoughts on the subject. But they heard me out about it. And some of them, in the past, I think about a few as I say that, for their own reasons, they stopped smoking later on. It's funny, I be talking to them and I casually just say, well, no, I don't even know why I say that, because, you be smoking that stuff. They say, hey, no, man, I don't do that no more. Like, oh, damn. Okay, cool. Good for you. I don't never take that as too serious either, because I know it comes and goes. People have addictions. They be like, yeah, that was a couple of months I did good, and then they jump right back in the bag. They can't help it. It's just whatever that feeling it is, whatever it gives them, they miss it, they want it, they need it, whatever. As I say, that's their business, do what you do. My problem with that though is you want certain results in your life and you know this thing has a certain effect on you. Because here's what I'm telling you, I wouldn't even be saying this if it weren't said by the people. Both the guy and the girl, well, mainly the guy, he kept saying, I ain't gonna even lie. I smoked a few, I done it. And then he was talking about when he was on the show, he said he drinks too. So he was talking about, I had a few. I said, God damn, so you drinking and you smoking? I know from weed heads that are hardcore, they say, look, you don't blend the two if you really about that life, because, man, the effects of liquor with the marijuana sometimes can jack you up in ways that get you real extra. So the dude is basically admitting he's under the influence in every thought he's having. So he's going to be over the top. At that point, nothing he said was too credible, unfortunately. And he was well-spoken and tried his best to make his points. But, in that case, I was easily siding with the lady's perspective on it, kind of like, you can't trust anything you're saying because you be lying. And then they started calling each other cap, all of that garbage. So I was like, man, this is ridiculous. So that was one example. And I'm not being specific on purpose. I want y'all to go watch the content for yourself. Support the channel. There was another one I watched where these two people, the lady had a history of being an exotic dancer, I believe. And the guy knew that when he got with her, okay? Or found that out after he got with her. And he still was, interested. Hey, it's a challenge, but he was up to it. That's what's up. To have her tell it, though, she seemed to have some anxiety, which I think is an overused word at this time in history with a lot of people in general, but especially with a lot of women. I get that a lot of women genuinely have clinical anxiety. If your stuff has been diagnosed and it's for real, I got more respect for it. And if you tell people that when you meet them, which I think you should, it's just like telling somebody that you have freaking STI or STD. You need to tell them that you have a mental condition. It is just as serious. I mean, in a different way, but it's just as serious. Because no one wants to deal with somebody without knowing you're about to enter that challenge. Somebody tells you 2 months into a relationship or trying to build a relationship that they have freaking autism or bipolarism or something like that. Like, yo, that's why you do this, that, and the other. I'm up here thinking you crazy for real. And I realize, no, you got a condition. You got, you're on medication. Are you on medication? And then, Lord forbid, they're not on their medication. Oh, my gosh. Like, it's crazy out here, y'all. But listening to this other talk, I felt like that's what I'm hearing. I felt like, I think this woman might be clinical in that regard, and the guy is just too, like, he's playing both sides. He's playing nice guy and tough guy for trying to, and the tough meaning he wanted to be seen as the alpha male and, you know, respect my word and hear me out, woman. I got some good advice for you in your life, because he was a financial advisor and he was supposedly trying to help her improve her credit and other things or whatever after they started talking. And they had a good, from what they said they did have a few good dates and they actually were starting to fall for each other and like each other. But their situation is complicated. I think they both had kids, if I remember right. So they got to do the parenting thing between what they trying to build. And the lady was, you know, they was going fast forward on everything. Like they said, I think she said that he had him come by and speak with her about her finances with her mom. I was thinking, what is wrong with these people? And then all of this is happening within a month. We're talking about literally weeks. I think the whole thing may have lasted a month and a half. A month and a half, people? I don't know what's wrong with some of y'all out here these days, but I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. Put the freaking brakes on it. I know this fast-paced society got y'all thinking that everything works fast. But when it comes to relationships, real relationships, not infatuation, not lustful intentions, not hit it and quit it, not hit it and keep getting it, but that's your only focus. If that's what you, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, if both parties agree to the circumstances and are with and understand that's exactly what this is, enjoy your life. Nothing wrong. Enjoy your life. Just do it safely. Do whatever y'all doing safely, respectfully, of your mental and physical existence. Keep each other alive. You got more life to live. You got more people to meet beyond this good time. But don't be trying to add in stuff that applies to people who are seriously trying to go to the next level up, like true level up. Like, yo, we're going to really consider a serious, devoted relationship. We're going to possibly consider marriage. We're going to possibly, and then these people be having kids too. I hate to hear that they got kids, because now I'm thinking, man, these kids going to be all messed up in the head, because I know they ain't got enough sense to not bring the person around the damn kids, get the kids liking them, and then when they gone over some little stupid fallout with a bunch of two grown people calling each other cat, you a cat. Man, if y'all don't shut the hell up, I can't stand it. It's like, and it happened every single time I watch these reunions. It almost is the same thing with different ingredients, but the same freaking dish. That's all they serving. Every time, they're like, everything gets deep too quick. Everybody taking everything too serious too quick. It's like, yo, man, this is why people say, for some people, with all these intimate relationships, they don't understand the power of intimacy. Look, they don't know how to separate that sexual energy from that mental energy and other energy. They say they do, but boy, when they get tested, every time they fail. And this show is proof of it, y'all. It is living proof of the failure. Failure. It's F's all around. You get an F, and you get an F, and you get an F, and yep, your ass, you get an F too. They getting F's, y'all. They failing all the tests, all the pop quizzes and everything. They're not even trying. They're not even being written, because they don't have any example of what's real. They don't, obviously, and I say this all the time, people who come from real households with real parents and real marriages and things, they're going to do better because they've had examples. So many people not having examples these days got work to do, and they don't want to start the work. They want to pretend that, oh, you know, I ain't had to have a mom and a dad unit to see how that's supposed to go. No, you didn't have to, but it would still, here's my favorite word, it would behoove you to get an example of what that looks like in you moving forward in that regard. You need an example. I don't know if it's a friend, some friends that have been married for 5-10 years, somebody need to be the example. And you need to be honest. Don't go to them humbly when you ask them, hey, I need some advice, man. I just met this lady. I'm really digging her, yo. We kicking it really hard. Everything's translation. We having a lot of sex and we like each other's conversation. Okay, that's easy part. That's honeymoon stage, as they say, right? Honeymoon phase. Now, the next level of the quiz gonna be actual test. Real shit gonna come up. Your finances. Where you live. She live in another state. Oh, damn. Y'all trying to get together? For real, for real? She got kids too? Oh, she does. Oh. Stuff gonna get real. People don't want to deal with that. They wanna just play. They don't want to deal with the real. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like the results it's giving us, y'all. I don't like the results it's giving us. I want to see people get to the point where they're honest and realistic. Get you a friend who can be honest and realistic with you. Get something like it would, if you seriously want the marriage side. Now, if you just want to be honest and say, man, it just seemed like the trend. It seemed like the thing to do to say that I'm being more mature. I'm older, so I'm supposed to get married. Ain't no supposed to get married. That's a bunch of societal, religious based. I'm not religious, so do what you want with that. Views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of ONYXCON's affiliates, associates, sponsors, and I mean that with this, because I got plenty of sponsors there, and they very religious and all that. Speaking from a, but I'm saying, if you're not pressed by a religious perspective, you're not pressed by societal perspective, just the hell you really are, you're gonna make decisions based on that. And those are gonna be the real decisions. Those are gonna be the honest decisions. And that's what I'm not seeing in all of this. It's a constant reminder that this does not work. All of that other stuff doesn't, because that other thing that comes up on the show all the time on the Pop the Balloon or Find Love with Arlette. 90% of the guests love when they're doing the whole, feeling each other out. Do you have a relationship with God? I do have a relationship with God. I love Jesus so bad. I go to church every day. Then how about you? And the man is like, well, I don't go every week, but I do have a relationship with God. I swear I'm reading a damn transcript for what these fools say, right? Then the same two that was so, they were equally yoked. They got all this Jesus talking, Christian talk. It wouldn't matter. They could be Muslim. They could be anything, but they typically be Christian. I'm just going to be real. Okay. We'll be on the damn show ready to tear each other's heads off, talking about how it didn't work out, and they couldn't even make it out the door on the first date. This is a psychological, emotional, unrealistic failure. People got to start being honest. Half these dudes don't really want to be religious. They just doing what they think gonna get the draws. If they know the women are religious, they like, yo, if I tell them I'm religious, I get the ass. I'm just being real with y'all. That's it. They don't give a damn about religion. Right? They just don't. The concept of going to church in the black families, and this is mostly black cultural stuff that I'm talking about here. It applies to anybody though. But it is a pressure. It's a pressure if somebody's from a Christian family. I'm that black sheep in my family easily, and everybody respects it. In my family, like my dad's not really super religious. As he gotten older, he's become more. That's kind of typical too. But my mom's more religious. The concept, the way the church is structured, I think fits women in America's personalities better. That's why they like that. It's a social environment. It's a lot of elements of it with the way events and things are organized that appeal to the way women like to decorate and celebrate, and it's in a woman's. Not saying those are bad things. They're beautiful things. I like, let women be women, let men be men. And I'm not even saying that some of the things that they do a man can't do in those environments, but I am saying that it champions a woman's natural energy in some ways, to where it makes sense why they enjoy the environment so much. Men, on the other hand, what's the biggest joke, the oldest joke that everybody been going? Man, on Sunday, I'd rather be on the couch watching football. Now, I'm not even that dude. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all, if you don't know, I'm a casual sports fan. I watch more highlights than I ever sit through a 2-hour game. I'm not going to waste that much of my time when there's other things I'd rather do. That's just me, though. Hell, I'd rather be fishing. I love to go fishing when a game's on. Places I go where usually there'll be another dude out there, or one lady, but mostly dudes fishing and stuff. I might be on my spot. I ain't got to worry about them because they're home in front of the couch every time. Every damn time. So I could go on and on and on, but the bottom line I'm going to say about all those reunion shows is I'm disappointed to see this constant failure because of lack of honesty, people not being true to who they are, women and men, people not being honest about their mental health, about their physical health, about their finances. There was one where I watched, this girl was dogging the dude out about being broke, and the guy was like, I ain't got nothing to hide. I ain't say I had all the money. She's like, yeah, you did. Cap. You did. You didn't. You said you had the bag. You had the bag. You got the money. The dude was like, nah, you can go back and look. I didn't say that. She's like, verbatim, you said it. And I was like, What difference does it freaking make? You went on a date. The dude didn't have a lot of money. And he said at one point, because he was frustrated, he said, once she said, since she keeps saying I was so broke and stuff, why is it after we were buying snacks at the vending at concessions, that was her sign. That was her way to turn out right then and there. She could just be like, you know what? I'm not feeling this. I'm sorry, but I'm out. Get you an Uber and go home. Since you got so much money and you so balling. He outed her whole mess. She had a car that was being worked on. She said her car was being worked on. So you ain't even got a working car. His car was old and beat up, sound like, but it was working. She's dogging the man out for not having a radio in his car. He had a Bluetooth boom box. He had a car and he had a sound system. You know, it was really sad. It was like she was trying to dog him out on the camera, trying to make himself seem so fly, and he ain't honest. The dude sounded like he was honest. He was just a little simple about defending himself. I think he was just, caught up in the shame of, man, I'm about to be put out here like I ain't got nothing and ain't doing nothing. And he was just honest. He's like, look, I ain't got it now, but I'm going to get it later. And I can relate to that. As an artist. And I think he was an artist too, to make it even worse. It's another part of why I cover these a lot, because I see artists be out here struggling, and you're going to find a lot of artists going on these shows because, for one thing, like I said, they hit millions. So you're giving people a chance to be recognized and seen. So if it goes viral, it's like, okay, hey, you saw me go viral for making a little silly comment on the dating show, but guess what? Here's what else I do. I'm a singer, I'm a dancer, I'm an actor, I'm a writer, I'm a producer, people want to be acknowledged for their talent. And sometimes the gatekeeping out here is so tough in the biz. They're like, look, man, I got to find it some other way. So, like everybody always coming for each other. Like, I think you just did it for clout. You weren't really trying to find something. Like, some people say, look, I'm doing it for both. And then they get frustrated. Like, oh, damn, I wasn't expecting that answer. I thought you were going to admit that, it was just for clout. That's like, no, stupid. Everybody come on the damn show for a certain amount of clout. Don't be giving me that everybody's an introvert and I just thought I would try. Yeah, yes, that's your role. I hear you. Yeah. I'm an actor, so I know a role when I'm hearing one. People can pull it out their ass when they want to act a little bit. Anybody, not even professional. Just, I'm on here. I mean, they may be a natural introvert, but you can't come on a show that going to get seen by the world and 24/7 be a true introvert. A true introvert, you'll never know their name, their face, nothing. People who be on here with no damn picture, trolling and acting stupid, those are true introverts with psychological mental problems. Real extroverted people like myself, we show up, we show out. We don't give a damn. We here. You see me. Ain't nobody scared. What's up? It's a difference. And so people who are on those shows, they the same. There's different levels of it. But they more like omniverts to extroverts. Everybody who be on them shows, they're willing to be in front of the camera. It's a beast to be in front of that damn camera if you ain't ready for it. And so I don't give them no credit when they say that, when they try and say, I was on there just for love. You on there to be seen. Now, if it's just for love, you hoping that more men will hit you up in your DMs and you'll find the love of your life because you went on something major to be seen. Nothing wrong with that. I got no problem with your means to the ears. Just be honest about it. That's all I got for y'all.